Hello, today I'm going to show you how to get the nice widescreen look without having to add these PNG black bar files and why you should stop doing that. First off, before you comment, there are two exceptions to this. One is if you're exporting to television, they have very strict standards and want a 16:9 image, and you're going to have to letterbox it yourself, either using black bars or using a nested sequence that has the proper aspect ratio in it. Second one is if you're making a video that has a lot of aspect ratio changes in it. For example, my color reel, I had to change between 2.35 to 1, 2.4 to 1, 2 to 1, and 16:9 all within the same video. So for that, black bars made sense. But for anything else, where you just have one ratio throughout the entire thing, just get rid of all your black bar PNG files and do it the correct way. I'm gonna show you how to do that now. So first off, there's a couple things just like straight up wrong with this PNG method to begin with. First off, you have to get this PNG from someone and then trust they made it right, or you have to make it yourself, make sure it's the proper ratio and that it fits correctly and all of that stuff. Second off, this black does take a little bit of data to export, so that information could be better suited if it's like trying to preserve the shadow detail or just like increase the sharpness like over here or something. But instead it's trying to make sure that like this remains solid black and that this edge remains sharp and all of these things, which could be just better suited going into the actual image. Okay, you probably get it now that PNG sucks. I'm gonna show you how to do it the right way. First off, just delete that, never use it again. Second, either make a new sequence right here and pick one of these presets and then go into the settings thing, or I already have a sequence here, so I'm just gonna go into my sequence settings. And for this footage right here, I've been shooting this to be 2.35 to 1 in camera, so I'm gonna pick that ratio and open up a calculator. And with our frame size here, we'll take our horizontal width and divide it by that ratio that we want. So in this case, 3840, divide that by 2.35 for 2.35 to 1. And we get our vertical, which is 1634. So if we go ahead and change that, it'll ask you to like delete your preview files. If you already have preview files, then like you're screwed, but you need to do this anyway. And then you get a nice wide image here. It shows up nice and wide on your preview monitor if you have one. So one of the benefits of this is that it formats itself onto any screen that you want. So if you have a 21:9 monitor, which is a little bit wider than this, which would get to about like roughly there, it would play on that as wide as it can. But if you're using black bars, then it'll end up like having black bars top and bottom and then pillar boxing on the left and right. So it would look roughly like this on a normal monitor, which is like, it would look really gross. And whoever has a 21:9 monitor would hate you forever. So don't do that. Another benefit is that you get a nice large preview here. When you're using black bars, it eats up a little bit of the space. You can't have as big of a preview. But when you have it done the right way, you get a little bit more screen real estate and you can use that to edit more down here or whatever you want to do.
It's free real estate.
Some of the most common ratios that you might want to use are 2.35 like this one, which in this case is 3840 by 1634. In 1080p, that's 1920 by 816. Another one is 2.4 to 1, which is a little bit wider, a little bit cleaner numbers to remember, is 3840 by 1600 for 4K, or for 1080p is 1920 by 800. If you're exporting for the web and you want it to like nicely fit on a 21:9 monitor, that ratio is 2.33. So in 4K, that will give you 3840 by 1648. Otherwise, it'll be in 1080p, 1920 by 824. Another really popular one is 2 to 1. That's on most modern smartphones, also known as 18:9. For this one, just divide whatever your horizontal width is by 2 and you get a really easy ratio that way. That one looks really nice if you're trying to compromise between 16:9 or 2.35. So if you shot something 16:9 and you want to change the aspect ratio of it, but 2.35 looks a little too drastic, then 2 to 1 is a great option for that. Lastly, it's important to remember that you should be planning this way before you edit and that you should be shooting with the aspect ratio that you want. So for this example, we had previewed a 2.35 ratio, and in doing so, if we go back to the 16:9 image, we were able to get our microphone really close and hide it in our frame even, because we knew that was going to be cropped out. So in this case, it's right there trying to get the cleanest sound possible, and you avoid seeing that and the front of this ugly desk just because we knew that we were going to crop it to this ratio. All right, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something useful about how to make your footage nice and widescreen without ruining it. I hope you never touch a black bar PNG file ever again in your life. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all of that stuff. But in the meantime, I'm out.